not talking about where's the money coming from. The question is this mayor incompetent? And she is.
If being an incompetent mayor means cleaning the streets, means getting crime down, it means making sure that the Department of Violence Prevention is fully serviced, then I am guilty of that, and I call me incompetent all day long.
Just now, this affair took an unexpected turn and became a full-fledged crime thriller. This is an insane tale. Allow me to briefly explain. With allegations of bribes, FBI raids, and her humiliating recall, the federal investigation into former Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao was already a significant topic. However, the situation has now reached a completely new level, a purported assassination attempt. Yes, you heard correctly. 2 guys have been taken into custody on suspicion of attempting to kill Mario, a crucial witness in this corruption case and an FBI informant. This incident began in June 2024, just prior to Thao's house being raided by federal officials. 2 gunmen assaulted Juarez, a well-known Oakland businessman, outside his residence. It was obvious that someone wanted him dead, but he returned fire and managed to get away uninjured. Whether this attack was related to Thao's corruption issue was not readily clear at the time. Investigators later concluded, however, that this was a targeted attack on an FBI agent rather than merely a case of random street violence. Thus, accusations of dubious campaign contributions have given way to possible witness tampering and violent crime plot in the corruption case against Sheng Thao. This might rank among the most startling political scandals in Oakland's history if these claims are accurate. Let's dissect everything and examine how we arrived at this point. The backstory is already known to those who follow this channel and the Thao tale. Despite making big promises when she was elected mayor in 2022, Oakland saw growing unrest while she was in office. The FBI searched her home in June 2024 as part of an investigation into a purported pay-for-play conspiracy between the Duong family and California Waste Solutions. Oakland voters had had enough by November 2024, and she became the first mayor in the city's history to be recalled.
This is the first time Oakland voters have successfully recalled a mayor.
It does seem like Oakland voters are looking for a change in city leadership. Here's the latest numbers. According to the county registrar, 31,800 votes supporting the recall, only 17,000 votes against the recall. Mayor Thao has faced criticism for her handling of the city's crime and budget issues. There's also the ongoing FBI investigation after the raid on her home earlier this year.
Then, in February 2025, fast forward she, her partner Andre Jones, and 2 Dual family members were all federally indicted.
The indictment charges a scheme that the defendants entered into knowing that bribes would be offered and accepted by Thao and Jones in exchange for allowing the Duongs to exercise illegal influence over the levers of city government. Examples of promises allegedly made by Thao include her agreement to purchase housing units from a company owned by the Duong family, her agreement to ensure the extension of a contract for recycling services that the city of Oakland had with one of David and Andy Duong's companies, and her agreement to use influence to help appoint a high-level city official to benefit the Duong's business interests.
We were there as Sheng Thao and her attorney came in. This was a routine procedural hearing, but still, there was some very interesting new information that we heard that came out in the courtroom.
In court, prosecutors told U.S. District Court Judge Yvonne Gonzalez-Rogers that they submitted evidence to the 4 defense teams about 154 gigabytes of data, which they say contains about 250,000 files. They said there is even more data on dozens of other devices, which could take months to procure.
The indictment itself is chock full of allegations, but it is not chock full of evidence. And that's what we're going to prove in the course of our defense in this case. The case is built on allegations from an unknown co-conspirator that we believe, when the evidence is revealed, will show that my client has committed no crime.
This most recent arrest takes Sheng Thao's career to a whole new level, which was already a total disaster. We are now discussing the possibility of physical revenge against an FBI informant in addition to corruption. Let's now talk about the most startling aspect of this whole case: Mario Juarez's attempted hit. Juarez is no stranger. He has years of extensive political involvement in Oakland. Not only does he understand the workings of the system, but he also understands where the secrets are. He became a crucial witness in the FBI's case against Thao for precisely this reason. 2 individuals allegedly tried to kill Juarez just days before federal officials searched Thao's house. As they approached him, they started shooting. Juarez retaliated with his weapon. Juarez was unharmed, and the gunman ran away. This is where it becomes even more improbable. 2 individuals were detained by Oakland police in December, but they were eventually freed. The county district attorney chose not to press charges, and their names were not mentioned in the report. What's happening? This case is really ridiculous and enragement-inducing. For trying to kill an FBI informant, 2 individuals were taken into custody. This wasn't a small-time crime or a bar fight. He was ambushed, shot at, and attempted to be killed by these suspects. However, the district attorney's office chose not to file charges against them rather than hold them in detention. Thus, these folks were just fired. There are still important questions as this inquiry goes on. Is this city still where these men are? The same state? The same nation? They were detained in relation to an attempted assassination of a government witness. Thus, they weren't jaywalkers. Juarez had probably been an FBI informant for many years. Given that this attack occurred only 2 days prior to the FBI raid on Thao's residence, it is possible that someone in her social circle was aware of what was about to happen. Despite Thao's public denial that he was being investigated by the FBI, Juarez acknowledged that he knew too much. According to the FBI, this strike had a clear connection to the corruption investigation. Nevertheless, it appears that the judicial system's answer is to wait it out. What sort of an antiquated legal system permits alleged hitmen to go free before ever entering a courtroom? The entire criminal justice system in Oakland seems to be in disarray. The city has seen a sharp increase in crime, with homicides, carjackings, and robberies going out of hand. In November 2024, the same voters that recalled Sheng Thao also ousted District Attorney Pamela Price, claiming that her actions exacerbated crime. However, the same alarming patterns of violent felons being reintegrated into society persist even after her dismissal. What does Oakland's approach to a case of attempted murder involving an FBI informant suggest about the city's general crime policies? If these criminals had fired at a police officer, would they have been imprisoned? What if Juarez had been killed, really? Why do lawbreakers appear to receive more leniency than those who follow the law? The message, in my opinion, is very clear. If you are a violent criminal, don't worry. The legal system in Oakland is on your side. Does this imply that Sheng Thao gave the order for a hit himself? Not always. However, someone in her social circle might have. We're dealing with serious corruption if the FBI can demonstrate that the purpose of this attack was to silence a witness. There are charges of witness tampering, conspiracy to commit murder, and potentially even racketeering, RICO, involved, in addition to unlawful campaign contributions and bribery. For Sheng Thao, the news is bad. The optics are awful, even if she had nothing to do with ordering the hit. She has already been accused of conspiracy and bribery by the FBI. Now, one of the main witnesses against her almost died. Additionally, the FBI may begin negotiating with prosecutors in exchange for information if they choose to look into the suspect's arrests again. Even more significant arrests may result from this, because whomever hired these gunmen and had anything to do with the corruption case is going to face severe legal repercussions. That begs even more important questions. For whom were these persons employed? If they weren't merely criminals acting on impulse, then who ordered them or hired them? And who will be the next to be charged if they assist law enforcement? Is the FBI going to file more charges? Charges such as conspiracy, witness tampering, and attempted murder are likely to start piling up if this was an organized crime. There may be more high-profile arrests coming if detectives find direct connections between the gunmen and members of Thao's inner circle. What does Sheng Thao stand to gain from all of this? The fact that a witness against her was singled out makes the case appear more worse, even if she was not involved in the shooting. It implies, at best, that she was in charge of a city rife with crime. This mayhem is on a whole other level. Since the recall election, there have been claims of bribery, FBI raids, an attempted assassination, and witness tampering. Sheng Thao may wish that being remembered was her only issue. We'll keep a careful eye on this case. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below.